Is this thing on? Hello everybody and welcome to another Infinity Evolved Skyblock with TechnoJock. In between episodes I have expanded out this area a little bit and we've got a decent crop going on. Actually I'm going to harvest this whilst I'm speaking to you. This will be good obviously for food going forward, but I'm using it right now as I've got plenty food on me. I'm using it to make more dirt because obviously we've got this little bit to go in there. So over we go to our little composting section here and can pop all this lot in here and it will make us some nice dirt. I think I've actually got enough to cover this area now, so that should do us going forward. We might need a little bit more. Yeah, we're going to need a little bit more. Another load should do us, and that will be fine. So, yeah, we've got grass in this area. It's looking really rather nice. And we've got some decent crops. We've got soybeans. We've got some of the dyes going on. We've got a load of potatoes. We've even got some cotton that we can use. I think it's like that. Yeah, we can do that. And get us some string. I'm not too bothered about that just at this moment, but we'll just store that in there just now. Anything else going on? Not a huge amount over here. Our power situation, I made a capacitor in between episodes just to see what we were doing in terms of power. Now, I've got our induction furnace here is redstone powered, so it keeps the heat at 100%. That uses 1 EU per tick, or 4 RF it works out as in the conversion. But what I've had to do is I've actually had to block off with pipe plugs here because the power pulled in by all of this stuff is actually more than we're making, even with all of those water wheels. So I've just got the dust one running at the moment, and obviously we've got more bone meal than we can shake a stick at. One of the reasons we made this big setup before was to make the void upgrades, and as you can see, this drum is completely full. All of these have got completely full of lava, and we've now got 64 obsidian in there, and we do have a further 64 in the buffer here in the transfer node. So if I take out, say, 2 of those, I didn't mean to do that, never mind. Oh well, we've got plenty of obsidian now. And I think I've actually got some drawer upgrade things sitting somewhere. Yes, we do. So we've got a drawer upgrade thing. Ooh, I didn't know I had those there. That's good. Making some more things at the moment. Don't mind me. Which means we do need another crafting bench, because believe it or not, everything is in use just now. And for those of you having a look at my NEI, you'll see probably what I'm doing. So we want the void upgrades for those drawers, and it's sticks and that, and we don't have any sticks, so we need 6 sticks, which means we can do that, and then we go like that, like that's not 6 sticks. Yeah. Anyway, right, so we've got that, and like that, and like that. Perfect. One void upgrade, and we can put it on this bone meal thing just by right clicking, and then this will start pulling in that bone meal as well. It'll get rid of that for us. Is it going to do it? It should be. Maybe I should take some out and do that. Yeah, there it goes. Now it knows it can get rid of it in there. It's going to start pulling that stuff out and sorting that out for us. Let's just manually do it just now, because the interface in that seems to be a little bit funny. The visual bug seems to affect that. Right, everything else is going fine. Excellent. Other small upgrade. Done a thing with the tank there. It keeps it nice and full. And yeah. So, next up, we're going under here, and we've got some things in here. And in particular, I'm wanting this turning table, and the manual kinetic generator, an iron turning blank, and this lathing tool. You'll see some other machines in here which will be getting used shortly. And I'm just going to set this up here. I think I've put it down like that. And altogether sure. Yeah, that's working. You can tell because this little bit in the top here goes red when it has sufficient power. So we want to put the lathing tool in there. We want to put the turning blank in there. And the reason I'm doing this is I want to make a handle. It's not going to show me that. Okay then. Sneak peek, we're making a laser. And we need this iron turning blank. Iron turning blank handle. It's not going to show. So it's 43222. So the way to use this, you need a kinetic generator. There's electric kinetic generator and manual kinetic generator, but quite frankly, the manual one is perfectly fine. You only use this for making these handle things, as far as I can tell anyway. And the electric kinetic generator always draws power even when you're not doing anything, so it's a bit of a pain. So you're better off just doing this because you're not going to really need to use it very often. And you do need to get the lathing tool as well, which is a steel plate and 2 iron item casings. And this does wear out, so you might need more, but it's to be honest, it lasts a fair length of time. So what we need to do is right click on this until the top of this changes to red, and then you can go like that and click on the thing, and you'll see the lathing tool uses a little bit of power. So 4, then 3. You don't get very many goes out of this before it runs out of power. So what you'll probably find is you'll need to do it quite a bit. So it's a little bit frustrating, but to be perfectly honest, you have to do it so infrequently that it doesn't really matter. Like that, and then do it a little bit more, and we'll go like that. Done, and there we go. It's turned into the iron turning blank, and it says handle underneath it, so that's what we need. These tiny piles of iron dust as well. Once you get 9 of them, you can make them in a crafting grid up to being just a pile of iron dust, and then that'll smelt back down into an ingot. So you do get some stuff back. Now I need to go in here because I need this. Yeah, that's it just now. And we want to go up here to this crafting bench. Oh, actually, I want to go to the compressor. The compressor, because we've got energium dust. This stuff, diamond dust and redstone dust. Diamond dust you either get from sifting dust, you get diamond dust there, or you get, if you've don't have any of the dust, if you macerate diamonds. Now we don't actually have a macerator at the moment. I think a pulverizer does do it. Let's see. Diamond dust, macerator. Yeah, pulverizer does it as well. Okay. So yeah, once you've got the energium dust, pop it into a compressor, and it compresses down into an energy crystal. So we'll get that in just 2 seconds. There we go. And with this, I think, where's the laser? Laser. So, yeah, that at the top and 2 redstone across there. And then we go that, and that, and then that, and then we need an advanced circuit, which I have made. So a normal electronic circuit, intricate circuit boards, which are just in the carpenter, the same as the basic ones, but it's gold rather than 1 bit of tin. And then we've got some basic capacitors, which are a lapis electron tube, which is lapis in our thermionic fabricator, which is easy enough. We had signalum and some redstone chipsets, and that altogether makes us 1 advanced circuit. So it's the first one of those that we've had to make, but I can guarantee you it won't be the last. So with 1 mining laser, we can head on over to this, and then we've got some coils, iron ingots, electric motor, which is more coils with tin item casings, and in advanced, machine casing, which is a normal basic machine casing with some steel plates, advanced alloy and carbon plates. Now advanced alloy is a mixed metal ingot, which is just more bronze plates, iron plates and tin plates. It gets you 2 mixed metal ingots, which in a compressor will make one of these advanced alloys. So you get 2 advanced alloy for 1 lot of all those plates, which is sufficient to make this. And the carbon plates is a bit of a faff again, but basically it's just pulverized coal. So you need 8 pulverized coal to be able to make the 2 raw carbon fibre that then you make into the raw carbon mesh, which then compresses down in a similar manner to the advanced alloy and gets you carbon plates. So it's a bit of a Rube Goldberg to get to that point, but that gets us a thermal centrifuge. And for those of you that have done industrial craft or watched some of my other videos in the past, you will know that this means that we are going to be setting up for a nuclear reactor. So this is the processing plant stuff that we're getting. What we will have is, we will have, I think I will put it over here, and we will have an ore washing plant where our uranium ore goes into, and then it will get washed down and it will go into the thermal centrifuge, and then we will get the stuff out of that, and then at the end of all of this it will get canned up. I think we'll put it into that, and we will have stuff, our nuclear fuel, go into our solid canning machine and go into rods, and then we will put them into a nuclear reactor, which I will probably be putting way over there, well away from anything else. I do have a stable reactor design, and it's a little bit different from the one that I used in my regular Infinity Evolved season. It uses a lot more stuff, uses the quad fuel rods, whereas my other one just used the normal fuel rods, the single ones, which is why I am currently making all of this stuff over here. So we're busy getting prepped for that. But I want to go over and I want to get some stuff sorted over on the magic side, because it's about time we did some more magic stuff, really. So I'm going to get myself a couple of sticks and do that. Oh, I think I need another one of those, don't I? Yeah, I think I do, because no, that's not it. Shapeless crafting. Yeah, I need 2 black patterns. Okay, let's get another 4 bits of wood, like that, and run back over, and we can get like that, and then we can go bit of string. Forgot, needed to make the paper first. Let's do that and make ourselves a book. Now a book along with 2 nuggets, and I need a sapling. Now, can I get a sapling from one of these trees? Oh yes, I can. Should probably take this lot down anyway and farm up some more wood, because we are using a reasonable amount of the stuff at the moment. Yep. Let's go over, pop this in here. That's all going nicely, and we'll use 1 sapling for making the Encyclopedia Britannica, or the Lexica Britannia, that's what it is. And we want this so we can have a look and see. I'll let you guys read that at some point if you really wish. It's well worth doing. It's an extremely good tutorial thing that goes through it and explains it all. It's one of my favourite mods for that reason. But what we're wanting to do is we want to not have a look at generating, but we're looking at functional flora. There's a couple of ones that I'm wanting to look at particularly at the moment, and that's one of them. And where's the hopper hawk? So I want the hopper hawk for a start. So we're going to need runes before we can start on the Hopper Hawk, and that's a rune of air. It's one of the basic ones, and it doesn't need anything that we can't really get a hold of. Air shards we haven't done an awful lot with Thaumcraft. In fact, we haven't done anything with Thaumcraft, but we need a runic altar. How about we start on some Thaumcraft then? Let's get going on that. We're going to need some more books. Let's grab some of that. We're going to need some more string, aren't we? But we've got string over here, I think. Yes, we do. Perfect. And we need low paper. We've got wood. That'll be fine. I need some iron nuggets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 nuggets. Yep. So if we toddle over here, we could have probably done it back over there, but it doesn't really matter. We'll make 2 iron wand caps. We'll make a stick and make ourselves a very basic wooden wand. Then we want to make ourselves like that, I think. And make ourselves enough for 3 books. We need to get some more paper. But I set this up specifically for paper, really. Well, not specifically for paper, but it'll certainly do the job for us. So we need to go like that, like that, like that. Get 3 books. We'll use the rest, no bother at all. Perfect. 1 bookshelf. So we put the bookshelf down in the world. We whack it with a wand. And we've got ourselves the so now we've got a starting in Thaumcraft, and we've still got the stuff where you get to buy. Yeah, we've still got research notes. That's really annoying. Obviously, I've done enough researching of Thaumcraft in my past. It's a bit annoying that we've got to do that, but never mind. But you can see, I wish I knew how to move that jetpack thing. Let's just take our jetpack off for 2 seconds. You'll see up at the top left we've got a little circle with 6 things coming out of it. Now those are our 6 aspect meters. We've got earth, air, fire, water, order and chaos, or terra, air, ignis, aqua, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, that's what they signify. And that is empty at the moment. And that the way you fill them up is from nodes, but nodes are tricky to get to. We need to fly around with our jetpack over the void and find nodes, and it's tricky to do because we need goggles revealing and stuff, or we can use our nice big mob farm, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Let's get this up here, and what you will see very quickly when we're up here is, as we kill these guys, we get our experience orbs, but there's also other little ones that you can see, slightly fainter ones. You can see just there, those red ones. Those are ignis orbs. So what we can see here is those things have filled up quite a considerable amount. You can see that the red one and the green one are completely full. That's our fire and earth. The yellow one above that, air, and is about halfway. Our water one, the blue one, is nearly full, and the other 2, the white and the black, are order and chaos, and they are quite low. But I'm presuming that different kinds of mobs have got different amounts of these things. See, the order one has now gone up quite a considerable amount. The water one is full. Yeah, order's a bit more. So we can fill this wand up quite quickly just by having the mob tower running and occasionally going over and whacking people's ankles. Now, what other things that we need to do are research stuff. So we can make these shards, and I'll need to find out how to make them in Skyblock, but basically we want to make this thermometer, and that allows us to scan stuff. So how do we make shards? I think we hammer things down. Shard. So yeah, we make air shards by hammering down sandstone slabs. Okay. Fire ones, hammering down nether brick. Well, we know we can make nether brick, so that's fine. These ones, hammering down ice. Okay. Earth, hammering down grass blocks. Well, we can do that straight away. Because we've got grass blocks over there. Order is stone slabs. Chaos is TNT. That was a crowd pleaser. So we can, with an ex nihilo hammer, which I think I've still got one over here, we can maybe I got, oh no, there we go, stone hammer, that should do us. Gonna set this thing going again. Nearly there. We can get some earth shards. And that gives us 2 shards. That's all we need at the moment. We need some mana glass and some gold, wasn't it? Yeah, 2 bits of gold, a bit of mana glass. If I was gold, where would I be? There's some gold nuggets there, but I'm sure I had some gold ingots before. Perhaps not. Okay. Gold, please. Whack you in there. We'll take 2 of you. We'll take some glass. We'll just grab the 1 bit of glass. Oh, my inventory management. Of course, I did go up and kill some beasties, so that's probably why. That's horrible. Like that, that'll do. And let's go on over here. And if we do that and that, along with that and that, 1 thermometer. Perfect. Now we can scan all the things. And you just right click on stuff. There's a bunch of stuff that we don't or won't be able to scan, but we should be able to do... Nope. Notice down at the bottom right it says, to understand this you need to study the sources of life. Okay, so there's a few things that we need to do first. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. Nope. Nope. So there's a bunch of stuff that we need to do in order before we can start scanning some of the more complex things. But there we go. Sand is a mixture of Perdito and Terra. Dirt is just Terra. Now, sources of life. I can't remember. There's one of them that's really quite difficult to get to, but basically what I need to do is go around and scan a bunch of stuff until we can progress. Now, if we do that, there we go. Now, it doesn't need to be an item in the world. I could have actually just thrown that on the ground and done it like that. It can be an item, entity, or a block in the world that you scan. It doesn't really matter. I wonder if I can get in and scan the lava. No, not right at the moment. No, but start playing with that. Water we can do. There we go. Stone barrel. Oh yeah, stone barrel. There we go. Yep. Got other things. Drum, probably not. No, it's study crystals and stuff. So, but there's another way we can do this to really help ourselves out. Because scanning things in the world isn't the only way of getting research. what we can do is we need to get scribing tools, which is a feather, ink, and a glass file. Glass file, another 3 mana, glass, and clay. Right, let's get some. We're going to need a bunch of files anyway, so I may as well just grab a load of glass and clay whilst I'm at it, come to think of it. And I need to get rid of some of those mobs. There we go, bunch of that. So some files we can make doing that way with that on the top. So perfect, glass file. And I didn't pick up the ink and the we've only got 1 feather. I need more. So there's going to be a reckoning with our chickens. Actually, I've got some. We've only got 3 chickens anyway. There you go. You love birds. You make some chickens. Yeah, and sorry, say. Yep. Did that give us another? No, it did not. That's irksome. Right, I need to get another feather. But we can probably do this just now and wait for that other chicken to grow up. I need the ink sacks from here. I'll grab 2 just now. So scribing tools, nearly there for this. So we need a feather, an ink sac, and a file. And then we need to make some tables. So let's go. We've got that. We need to make the tables. Okay, how do we make the tables? Let's have a look at the Thaumcraft table. Maybe it'd be better having a look through Thaumcraft and try and find the wooden tables. If I was a wooden table, where would I be? There we go, that's what I want. So we need living wood, slabs, and living wood. And we'll need to make 3 of these. So we'll need quite a bit of living wood. Let's go get some wood and then make it into living wood. Cunning plan. I don't think I've got that much living wood over here. I've got 4 bits of living wood, which is not going to be nearly enough. Right, okay. Let's put this round here. And let's wait for that to do. And once we've got all the stuff that we need, we'll be back in a mo. Now we have a couple of scribing tools. It took me quite a while to breed up chickens and chop them up until I found a feather. I apparently have mostly bald chickens, and we've got the living wood now to make these tables. So let's grab all 3 of these. And I'm wondering where to put this. I think I might put my tables and stuff here for my research. And then by going and clicking on 2 tables together like this with the scribing tools, gets us our research table. It changes into this little multi-block here, which looks rather cool. And our scribing tools are in. Oh, we've actually got. I didn't think it actually kept the scribing tools, but there we go. But you will see that we have here these aspects. So we've got the earth, air, fire, water, order, and chaos. And that's the aspects that we have discovered. Now, the benefit of this has got 2 real functions to it. One of which is to be able to, when you're going through the Thaumonomicon and you want to know about something, let's get some paper. So we've got scribing tools and paper on us. So it says now here, knowledge is power. Click to get a research note for this research. Let's do this. So now we have in our inventory a research node. and we can come up to our table. And as long as you've got ink and scribing tools, well, scribing tools with ink in them there, then you can start doing research. But you'll see that 2 of these have got question marks on them because we don't know about the aspects that are used for research for this particular one. So the second thing that this can do is you can combine aspects. So if we say earth and water and combine them, it's going to try and combine them to make another aspect. And if you don't know about it, it will tell you about it. Now I happened to know that earth and water makes life, which is very, very handy for us as well. And yeah, so we can do that. So now we know about life. Can we scan this grass block? Yes, we can. And it's given us another aspect. It says down the bottom right, you have discovered herba. Because that's about plants. Now obviously we couldn't discover about plants because we didn't know about life, and life comes before plants, funnily enough. Now let's go over here and do a sapling. Now because we had herba, and the oak sapling's got herba on it, we've discovered arbor as well. The nomenclature there being from arboreal, meaning tree. So we've learnt about that. So you need to know at least, I think it's you need to know at least, you know, all but one of the aspects. Now we can scan rubber wood, can we? No, we need to study man apparently. But oak wood is fine because that's just that, and then oak leaves. Yep, that's fine. So as you can see, we're going around and we're starting to be able to scan things. Yeah, mycelium, is that a mushroom? No. Understand empty things. What about a chest? There we go. So we've discovered vacuous now, which is to do with empty things. So it's a wooden box. It's a hollow wooden box. That's why empty things. Let's do this. We need to study light. Well, here's a torch. There we go. That does that. So we've got potential, and we've got a clue to new research. So basically I'm going to have to go around and do an awful lot of scanning of things. That's going to be unnamed, so that's not going to be helping us. I've got one stick, and I'm going to grab one bit of coal, and I'm going to make myself a torch, because I happen to know that if I scan this, it should give me lux. There we go. That's the light that I wanted, and then I can scan this mushroom probably. There we go. Perfect. Excellent. Right, so we're getting going, and the other thing I wanted to do, of course, was this. So I'll go next to this, put down just a single table on its own, and then whack it with a wand, and it makes this arcane work table. So it's effectively a crafting table, but it's for doing magic stuff because it's got a space for a wand. So we will get on to that next episode, I'm afraid, folks, because that's it at wrapping up point. So I'm going to do a bunch of scanning and research and stuff that's really boring to do on camera, and I will work towards getting the components for our nuclear reactor as well, and maybe get an area set up for that, and we shall see how we get on for next episode. But until then, please like and subscribe if you liked it and you're not already subscribed. Check out the other season gamers, of course, see what they're up to. Most of them are a little bit ahead of me just now. And I shall see you the next time. Bye bye and have a funs.